Hey everybody, welcome back. It is time for the main course. It is time for some meat. Let's get the full rack of ribs with the side of the half slab of ribs, and also let's get maybe a little steak on the side. Who knows? But let's dig in. Either way, let's get into the spiritual side. That's what the meat is. The meat is the spiritual side of a conversation, of a study. The meat is reading this the way that God intends for us to read it, the way that it is written, getting out of the superficial historical side of things and getting into what actually matters. We are in John 1, 43 through 51. Now, not a lot of verses, but a whole lot of power. And why is it exactly? It's because of the things that are taking place. The next day, after Jesus meets Peter, after Jesus renames Simon Peter, and he spends the day with Andrew and whatever the other disciple was, Philip, John, or a different one, right? We have to be in a continuation of the story. That's the whole point of this, in a continuation of the events that are happening. Since we came out of the wilderness, John has been questioned and confirmed of who he is and what he is doing. Jesus has passed by John in two different occasions, and John has told his disciples of who Jesus is. Behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. And then when we read the word sin, we really need to read it correctly. The one who takes away the separation of man and God. Okay? Who takes away the separation. Who allows us to get into a point where we can live with God in a way that we never have before and never have been able to, because of our choosing of sin. So this is what Jesus offers us. Then the question comes down to, do we want that? And are we living like we want that? And hopefully the answer is yes. Of course we are. Of course we want that. But our lives speak. Our lives speak for us, without us having to say a word. So, as we dig in here, let's look. The next day, Jesus decided to go to Galilee. He's made a decision. He's going to Galilee. He has a purpose. Jesus didn't waste any of his steps. Every step was counted. Every step was calculated. And everything was done with a purpose. Jesus led a spirit-led life for the entire time of his being. And his life was filled. He decides to go to Galilee. Galilee is the Sea of Galilee, in that area. Now, maybe, just maybe, when they were asking Jesus yesterday where you were staying, Jesus took him home. Maybe he had a place in Nazareth. Maybe this was his place in Capernaum. Who knows, right? Doesn't really tell us where. It just says that they wanted to know where he went and they followed him. So he decides to go to Galilee. He found Philip. Now, Philip was a disciple of John the Baptist, as far as we know and read. So with that being said, Philip was being prepared by John the Baptist for a while now. John was preparing him for the purpose of following Jesus. So he finds Philip and he says these words to Philip: "Follow me." We could spend the rest of our day in this one sentence. Jesus finds Philip, who's been learning about and ready to follow Jesus, just waiting for those words to be spoken to him, right? Imagine waiting for your name to be called for something like a prize or whatever it might be. And you're just hoping That you're the. Sometimes I think about it like the NBA draft or something, where the guy goes up and he opens the envelope and he's like the Chicago Bulls with the third pick in the 1985 draft choose, and then they say the name, and you're just hoping so badly that it's your name because this is who you want to play for and this is the team that you want to be a part of. And I don't know how Philip felt about this, but you like to think and believe that it was with great excitement to be called by Jesus. Either way, what do the words "follow me" kind of give way to? Like, what are our instant thoughts when someone says "follow me"? When a little kid tells you they have something to show you, and they use the words "follow me," that can be scary, right? At least in my circumstances, that word can be scary. I wonder if there was any fear when hearing these words from Jesus, "Follow me." I wonder if the words were received in gentleness and excitement. I wonder if the word "follow me" kind of cut through a person. I have a lot of questions about what this might have felt or sounded like to a person. What is it when Jesus uses the words "follow me"? Is it said with the authority that there's really no other option? Is it said with a kind compassion in his eyes? Like, when you hear the words "follow me" by Jesus, when Jesus says the words "follow me" in your life, what is it that you hear? Because I feel like that there's a lot in this. What we learn about here in a little bit when it comes to these words "follow me" is that Jesus kind of makes it clear that in order to follow him, you have to deny yourself and pick up your cross every day and follow him. Now, he's talking to disciples of John. Maybe what was spoken of by John was already made clear, that in this walk, denying yourself was the very first thing you did, and bearing a cross on a daily basis was just something you did. Now, let's also keep in mind that nobody really knew at this point that Jesus was going to be crucified. When we hear early on, deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow Jesus, we have to remember that they weren't all wearing crosses on their necks. The cross was not a positive symbol in any way. It's still not. It's a torture device that God used for good. But nonetheless, follow me only happens after you're not following yourself anymore, after you've realized that your plans and your way are not it. When Jesus says the words "follow me," most people don't hear them because they're too busy in their own plans. How can you hear the words "follow me" from Jesus when you've been asking Jesus to follow you your whole life? How in the world can you hear Jesus clearly say "follow me" when you're too busy inviting him in on all of your plans? I mean, what if Jesus looked at Philip and said, "Follow me," and Philip says, "Jesus, I really think this is going to work out better for the both of us if you just follow me. Like, I really think I've got a solid plan laid out for the day. And I think if you follow me, you're going to see that not only am I really good at making plans, but I'm also probably going to call on you at least a couple times today. And it would be great if you would have my back. Like it would make my day so much easier if you would have my back, right? So I'll go and make the plans. I'll be the plan guy. I'll be the hype man. And I'll kind of set the day, kind of set the whatever. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have my back. Make sure that everything goes smooth. I don't want to have any troubles today. What I'd like for it to do is just, will you just bless my day the way that I have made it up so that everything is cool. That would be great. Love to have a great day. Thanks for being there for me. Appreciate it. And I'll see you out there. Right? Because I'm pretty sure that that's 99.99% of our prayer and our life right there. Jesus says, follow me. He doesn't say, follow me, but first, let me go over this plan with you and see what you think of it. He doesn't say, follow me, and then if you want to kind of change something up, let me know, and we'll work together on it. He basically says, follow me. If you have any questions, they'll be answered along the way by where we go and what we do. He's basically making it pretty clear to anyone that if you want to follow me, you better be used to being left in the dark as far as plans go. He looks at Philip and he says the words, follow me. Now, Philip was from Bethsaida. Here's a little factual information. The city of Andrew and Peter. Interesting that Philip, Andrew, and Peter are all from the same place. All right. It says, Philip found Nathanael. Now, why is Andrew and Peter mentioned here? Perhaps because Andrew and Peter are also along for this journey. Why do we think this? Because when he finds Nathanael, when Philip finds Nathanael, and apparently Nathanael was possibly from Cana, which was maybe 4 or so miles from Nazareth. He says the words to him, we have found. This word find or found is used a lot here. Jesus finds Philip, Andrew, and Peter find Nathanael, and then they say that we have found him of whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote. Important note. When you find the Messiah, when you find Jesus, you share Jesus. Do you share Jesus because you have to? No, you share Jesus because you've actually finally found the entire purpose of life. Everybody around you is searching for the purpose of life, and they're going to make you feel dumb because you're going to say Jesus is it. And you're going to have found it, and they're never going to find it. They're going to search in every nook and cranny, whatever a nook and cranny is, in life, and never going to find him. They're never going to find purpose or reason for their life. They're going to think that they have, and they're going to fulfill unfulfilled. You say, I found Jesus, this is the purpose of life. Their instant reaction is usually going to be, you're dumb, you're brainwashed, you're in some religion, or you're a do-gooder, or whatever. The instant reaction of most people, oh, well, you found your thing, I gotta go find mine. And you're like, you don't get it. But they don't get it. He says, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote. The one you've been reading about and searching for your whole life, the one that Israel's been looking for centuries, is literally standing amongst us. Now, there'd be reason for them not to believe, okay, because there'd already been several that have come through proclaiming to be this person. There have been several false prophets. There have been many that have led many astray. And we're going to read about that a little bit later. I got to finish this up. All right, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. There's power in a name. There's power in the name of Jesus. We talked about power in a name yesterday. So, Philip makes a strong note for Jesus. Moses in the law and the prophets all spoke of this man. Now we know him. We have found the Messiah. It's Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. Nathanael says to him, the very first thing, this is what's great, because a city can be everything. Think of a city that was known for being garbage growing up. A garbage town is what people would call it, right? Like, what good thing has ever come out of Las Vegas, right? What good thing has ever come out of Eustis? I don't know. When I moved down here, everybody called it useless. I was like, that's kind of mean, but whatever. The very first thing that Philip says, and this says a lot about who Philip is, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Now, this might have been for multiple reasons. Apparently the people of Nazareth were a little bit prideful because they had world news before everybody else had it. They kind of did their own thing. I've read some things that say that there was a Roman military base set up there. So, and you know how much they hated the Romans. Okay, the point being, historically we can look at it from a lot of reasons. There's no reason, and especially with God, who uses the smallest person from the smallest tribe, the weakest person from the weakest tribe, to make big waves in his life. The person with a speech impediment to lead people to freedom. The person with the son that's not even brought out with the sons of David. Of Jesse, the son, David. There's so many things that we have got to remember. Remember, in Jesus' lineage are prostitutes. Look it up. Anyway, the point being, it doesn't really matter the name of the city. We should actually be looking for incredible things to come out of nothing, because that's how God works. But he says, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Philip said to him, come and see. You don't believe? That's fine. I mean, I get it that you don't think anything good can come out of Nazareth, but I'm not lying to you. So you need to come and see. Come and see. Leave what you're doing. Come with me. See for yourself. Because people want to see, right? Well, I'll believe in Jesus when he shows himself to me. That should be you guys. People should see Jesus in you. If you're living the same life that you've always lived, you're just trying to be nicer or gooder, nobody's seeing Jesus. They're just seeing you trying to work on your life. Philip said to him, come and see. Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him because Jesus was looking for Nathanael coming toward him. Jesus found Philip because Jesus was looking for Philip. Jesus saw the people following him because Jesus looked for the people following him. This is what he says about Nathanael. Behold, right, John, behold the Lamb of God. Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom there is no deceit. Behold, a true Israelite. One who probably likes law, likes rules, likes order, loves God, is honest about all things. Apparently, if something comes to his mind and it's a matter of fact, he'll say it. I don't know. We're speculating, but based off the conversation we're having so far with Nathanael, we can think these things to be true, and Jesus knows the hearts and minds of men. So he can see Nathanael and know everything about him instantaneously, and know instantly that this is a man who's a true Israelite and in whom there is no deceit. This is an honest person. Nathanael says to him, how do you know me? Now, is this saying these things are true? How is it? How do you know me again? Or it could be he's saying, so you're saying these things probably about everybody, right? What's different? How do you know me? Who knows, right? Because he's already a little bit skeptical because Jesus of Nazareth, right? He's already got that bad taste in his mouth. And this is what Jesus answers. Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you. He's telling him something that was impossible for him to know. Perhaps this was a moment that Nathanael was reaching out to God. I love how The Chosen portrayed it. It doesn't mean that was true. But imagine being in a place that it's just you and God. You know that nobody knows you were there. And then Jesus would point it out to you. He said, I saw you. I see you now. I see you coming. I've seen you before. I know your life. I know who you are. I know your heart. I am Jesus. I know everything about you because I put you together. Like I'm the guy. I'm your creator. Well, this is enough for Nathanael. This is all Nathanael needs, because something was special about this. Because this is how Nathanael answers. Rabbi or teacher, you are the Son of God! Exclamation point. You are the King of Israel! Exclamation point. Now, there is probably more to this story, as Paul Harvey would say. And I'm sorry I went over the time. Just bear with me. There's probably more to this story. Why? Because there was probably a lot more conversation. It probably wasn't Philip showing up, finding Nathanael and being like, hey, come and see, and then no talking. They probably spoke the entire walk to Jesus. Okay? They probably spoke of the incredible things that they've heard and seen and found out and known. Wouldn't you? If you were talking with somebody about coming to see Jesus, wouldn't you just like proclaim his goodness and all that you've witnessed and all that you've seen and all that you know? And wouldn't you be so excited that you couldn't keep it in? Yes, you would be if you were really filling up with Jesus. Jesus' answer to him, because I said to you, I saw you under the fig tree, do you believe? He's basically saying, this little bit is all it took. Now, Jesus knew before he asked. The point was, he was trying to get across this point. You believed because of very, very, very little evidence. One thing, one little thing, and you believed. And he says, listen to me, truly, truly, listen to me, listen up. You will see heaven opened. And the angels of God ascending, that's up, descending, that's down, on the Son of Man. Jesus makes this proclamation to Nathanael that is huge in their very first conversation. He says, you think that you believe that I'm the Son of God and the King of the Jews because I saw you under the fig tree and nobody else knew you were there? Just wait, bro. I'm about to blow your mind. You are going to be... Once I show you what I had to show you, you'll be proclaiming you are the Son of God, the King of Israel, everywhere you go. You will not be able to hold it in. And people will know that Nathanael is a man of no deceit. Nathanael is an Israelite for sure, which means Nathanael's been looking for Jesus. And Nathanael is not a person who can or will lie about Jesus, because that is what Nathanael is known for, because I've already called it out. Nathanael was special. Philip, Andrew, Peter, special for a reason. John, special for a reason. All of these men put together to make up the disciples that follow Jesus. You are special. But you have got to come and see if you're not the one coming and seeing. You have got to follow Jesus if you're the one that's leading or co-leading or whatever you want to call it. Look, guys, there's a humble follower and then there's a prideful anything else. If you're not letting go of your control, if you're not letting go of your plans, if you're not letting go of your life, he says you cannot gain life if you don't first lose it. We're going to go through a lot of hard teachings of Jesus. Turns out they are really not marshmallows and rainbows. It's a lot more to it. But I'm going to leave this with the meat for the day. Follow Jesus. Come and see.